Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTuber, sign off and imitator, never duplicated, super 10%. Gonna go over Fastlane. Was in Indianapolis, Indiana. I gotta tell you, this was a damn good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and in a weird way, it wasn't like one particular match or one spot or a surprise appearance from this or that or anything. It's what wowed me and made me like this show more than anything was, well, it's a 5-card show. There was only 5 matches, but it felt like, make sure I say this the right way. Felt like they went with the concept with the idea of less is more. While there was fewer matches on the card, the matches all felt like they had time to go and tell a good story. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna go in. I'm fully open to all points of discussion when it comes to wrestling, so long as it's in a respectful way. But personally, I don't think you could tell, again, make sure I said this the right way. You could do just as good of you could tell just as good of a story in the ring with a 15 to 20 minute match as you could with a match that's like 30, 40, or even 60 minutes. And you know, so long as you got the 3 people that know on how to do their jobs. The 2 wrestlers and the ref. So, yeah. And not only that, man, it does feel like that, you know, it feels like they went with the idea of less is more, and I'm all for it. I dug the hell out of it. I'm kind of hoping we see something like this again down the road. So with that said, let's get into the show. Fastlane starts off with tag team action. Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes going against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And man, oh fucking man, this was a damn good match. Had a nice little start, and I kind of chuckled with the commentating because right at the beginning, Michael Cole emphasizes on how Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor were both at one point leader of the Bullet Club, and Corey Graves right off bat. Anything to get them Twitter points, huh, Cole? And I kind of chuckled at that, and I know some wrestling purists were like, well, Cody Rhodes was never in fact leader of the Bullet Club. Okay, but, you know, one could make an argument that he was vying for it when he was having his little on and off squabbling with Kenny, but we're not going to argue on that right now. But either way, good match, had a nice little start with Jey and Cody. They were leading in the start, and then Jey, he was made into a punching bag, and then Cody eventually got the hot tag in, started cleaning up house, brought Jey back in, and then Jey actually started dictating the pace for the match right around the second half of it, and you know, it was good. It was good. I dug it. I liked it. I thought it told a really good story. Match came to an end when Jey and Cody wound up doing what looked like a mix between the 3D Dudley Death Drop and Cody Springboard Cody Cutter. And got the 1, 2, 3, your winners and new Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Now, on Raw the following night, excuse me, it was made official that Cody and Jey would defend the titles on the season premiere. So not this Monday that just transpired, which was the Fallout one, but next week. So we'll be talking about this match then. That they're going to get their tag title rematch. And yeah, So now they did that finish to Balor, so just want to make sure I emphasize on that part because I didn't mention that. Now I also want to emphasize that, actually, no, we don't need to get into that at the moment because I'd give spoilers for a match later on. So let's just scrub that part. Well, wait, we can edit that, right? Oh, fuck you, man. In fact, fuck you twice. This is the kind of help I get. They tell me no, we're not editing. We just go live to tape. Anyways, next matchup we got six-man tag action. Street Profits and the almighty Bobby Lashley going against Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, and question mark because, well, that Friday beforehand they wound up taking out. That Friday beforehand, the Street Profits they wound up doing some dirty bad guys doing bad guy things, taking out people. So yeah, LWO was short. They couldn't work. They're like, all right, yeah, we're down. So we got no one. We don't have anyone that they took out. Wild and Del Toro. So it was, what do we do? Figure it out. So Rey and Santos, they go and work it for a little bit as a 3-on-2 handicap. With Santos leading early on, Rey starts to become the punching bag for a bit, starts building up momentum. Once he gets to that spot where, boom, knocks out his opponent, and it looks like he starts crawling for the hot tag. Now Santos got incapacitated and taken out, and then it's like, oh no, Rey, who's Rey gonna reach for? And then the music plays. Carlito comes out. And dude, I'm not even gonna lie. While yes, the rumors were rampant, it was gonna be Carlito. Oh, Carlito's gonna come out. Carlito's gonna be there. You know, Carlito helped the LWO at Backlash in Puerto Rico. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, all this, that, and yeah. Honestly, my personal opinion, I thought it was going to be Dragon Lee. Just because of the amount of time that they gave him on the main roster in TV matches. But either way, Carlito came out to be the third man at the last minute, got the hot tag in, cleaned up house, and good God almighty, Carlito can still go. I absolutely dug the hell out of that. Have Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio, and Carlito all around, all working in the ring at one point, and all I could think is, my God, are we back in like early 2000s? Am I like in my late teens all over again? Are we like in my late teens, early 20s all over again? Like, what? So, yeah. Anyways, Carlito got the win doing the backstabber to Montez Ford, so yeah. Lashley's gonna just wind up being like, listen, y'all's out now. Bye. Later. So next up we got triple threat women's action. Charlotte Flair, Asuka, and Io Sky. And man, right at the start of the match, Asuka, she boom, pops Charlotte with the mist. And okay, show of hands. How many of you nasty freaks out there would sit there and think I would have zero problem whatsoever getting the mist from Asuka? Dude, not now. We're being professionals. Anyways. Charlotte wound up getting hit with the mist, so she was taken out. They were cleaning her eyes. Had nice one-on-one action with Asuka and Io for a bit, and all I could think, man, this really, if they do this right, man, if we could get Asuka versus Io at WrestleMania and maybe and you could call it armchair quarterbacking or fantasy booking, but I'm just thinking, Asuka and Io at WrestleMania, man, that would be freaking nuts. Excuse me. It would be cool to see. And when Charlotte does come back in, she starts leading the pace. After her eyes got washed, really good action all around. Again, and like I said, everyone, like I said at the beginning of the show, everyone had time to go, and this really emphasized right here. This, I can't, subconsciously I always knew it, but it didn't click out it didn't click for me until I sat and thought about it watching this, like, if more triple threat matches had more time to go like this, a lot more of them would probably be a lot more fun to watch for me. Because I do like a triple threat, but it's so long as the story calls for it. But like I said, subconsciously I thought that, but it never clicked with me until then. But match came to an end when Bayley was distracting the ref while Charlotte had Asuka in the figure 8, and then while Charlotte has the figure 8 locked in, Asuka is tapping, but ref doesn't see it because he's distracted by Bayley. And then Io, boom, pops a moonsault onto Charlotte, which makes her let go. And then once Bayley sees that, she's like, oh, okay, I'm down now. Io goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. So you're a winner and still Women's Champion, Io Sky. Next up, we got John Cena and L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Going against Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, or Jim Uso, however he wants to be referred to now. It's at this point, it's like hearing a kid that wants to say, no, I don't want to be called this. I want to be called Frankenstein or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll call you shithead for all I care. Either way, nice little start with Cena and Jimmy, and then much to my surprise, John Cena was the punching bag for this match. I was not expecting that. LA Knight got the hot tag in, and then, oh my God almighty, the crowd was so into it. Like, and Knight, Eli Drake, however you know him, he's got the hold of what his character is. Of what his wrestling persona is, what his character is in there. Make sure I put this the right way. Like on how the best characters are yourself cranked up to 11. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Mick Foley, Mankind. It's when you can make the character just cranked up to 11, then boom, you got it. You're in. You're comfortable with it, and go. LA Knight has got that. Now, obviously, yeah, he had that before he got in WWE. But, a little bit of a rough start as LA Knight when he first started. And then with Max Dupree, not necessarily a hot commodity doing that, but LA Knight, man, just sold. Yeah. And it was a great match. I dug it. Match came to an end when Cena did the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Knight did the BFT onto Jimmy Uso, got the 1, 2, 3 then. And then afterwards, you just see Paul Heyman picking up his phone. Call Roman Reigns. Then wanting to go and inform the tribal chief about what happened. Like, listen, this happened, and this, and this, and this, yeah. And then after the match, Cena, he went to go raise Knight's hand. Knight, pulled his arm away, like, whoa, what's going on? And then Knight picks up Cena's hand, goes and praises him, like, no, this is the guy right here. This is the guy. And I dug the hell out of that, and want to make a note also, it's also, those who may not know, it's public knowledge now. Cena said he's working with WWE until the writer's strike is over in Hollywood. They came to an agreement, so the strike may be coming to an end soon, which means Cena may be leaving soon. Hopefully that doesn't mean like, oh well, we had this, and this planned, but now that Cena's gonna be leaving, fuck! Now we gotta make a whole new plan. God damn it. So either way, now we come to the main event of the night. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it. In a last man standing, and yeah, listen, like I said before, I'm not big on last man standings because it's just, on paper, it's a great concept. You gotta beat your opponent senseless to the point they're incapacitated and can't get up for a 10 count. Here's the drawback for me. Now having to wait for the 10 count. That was 10 count. Yeah. So as if watching this show wasn't torture enough, those 10 minutes of silence was probably torture. We're allowed to do self-deprecating humor here on this in this place, okay? How do you think post-production gets handled? So either way, as far as the match went, really quick pace at the start. Shin leading, working Seth's lower back, something fierce. Much to, like he's been emphasizing, he's working with a broken back. It's all sorts of fucked up. It's all sorts of hurting. Listen, I got back issues myself, so I emphasize I can relate to that. I relate to that because there is not a day that goes by where, you get some good days where it's just like a mild pain, like, ooh, ow, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then you got some days where it's like you're weighing the pros and cons of just rolling out of bed in the morning. So trust me, I get it. But man, really good. I dug it. It was really kind of a car crash style mayhem all over. And at one point, I got mad at this one part because Dude showed a video where at one point when they were fighting out in the crowd, Nakamura knocked Seth and landed onto a big box thing. But oh my god, it was a rigged crash pad. So wait a sec. You're telling me that two professional wrestlers actually planned and choreographed a spot where one wrestler would knock another wrestler onto something so that way they took a fall, but it was in a more protective manner as opposed to falling a good, let's see, judging by the way that height was, about maybe a good 10 or so feet off the ground. And so instead of doing a good 10-foot drop onto cold, hard, unforgiving concrete, heaven forbid, he lands on something that's mildly softer to help prevent life and or career-ending injuries. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to knock that, no different than I'm going to knock if somebody, like with AEW, they used crash pads for blood and gut matches or big suicide dive spots or whatever. No. Dude, it's part of wrestling. You do what you need to do to protect them from sometimes you got to protect the talent from doing something stupid like that. From wanting to do something stupid like that. Excuse me. But decent match. I dug the hell out of it. It was, again, no, the 10-second part is what kills me with Last Man Standings. I have very few Last Man Standings and I'm like, oh shit. You know, and it was good, but this didn't make me be like, oh, I gotta put this in my archives to watch later. It was a good one though. Rollins got the win. He did a Falcon Arrow when they were in the crowd, threw a thing of tables, and then got the 10 count. The following night on Raw, he started out the show talking about on how he's hurt, he's sore, but he just wants to have a night where they can party and not have somebody come out and jump the gun and want to take his championship from him. And then out comes McIntyre saying he wants a shot, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can still party. Because what I'm saying is, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at Crown Jewel, which is which is at the beginning of the month in November. So yeah. And then after that, after their little exchange, no violence was done to either from it. Then, as Drew's walking away, Damian Priest does a sneak attack onto Seth, starts beating him up, and then Priest starts calling for it. Dom comes out, or not Dom, it was, I believe it was either Dominic or the Human Funko Pop, JD McDonough. I can't remember which one. But one of them was coming out. And then McIntyre, as he sees them coming out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, whoa. And then he starts to argue with him. Wham! Throws a headbutt at him. So then it's Seth confronts him like, so you had no problem with me getting attacked, sneak attacked, but you jump in when they go to do a cash in. Like I said, if it's not my business, I'm not going to interfere. If they do attack, they go to fight you, that's one thing. When they go to try and take my title opportunity away from me, then I'm going to say something. So, again, like I said last week, the best villains don't see themselves as villains. They see themselves fighting for the good. You know? So, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter, Tim Vicious. Also, folks, on that thread, John Tim Vicious there, working on Blue Sky. Got a lot of links up. I'm going to try and put a link tree set up down below as well. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. All that good shit and the details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, LFC is on Tubi, so it costs $0 to help support them. But if you do want to throw some dollars around, go check out WorldWarMove.net and get some Vicious Rants apparel. Help support the show. Christmas is coming up. Perfect gifts for people you love, people you hate, or something to get to give to goodwill and try and be a half-decent person. Don't forget to check out these cool ass castles right on the Twitter. Kenny Keller deals the _IV Diabolica RA. Sergeant Curry Pants and dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell you, if you love me great, you hate me. How could you do me like that? Fuck you. How could you do me like that?